The photographer said, in addition to teaching you the laws of Ra, I also want to teach you a series of 7 battles transmitted long ago of the celestial gods. We need people who practice different gods of high decision. New can be used. It's called the Angel of Heaven. They heard it. Then you can ignore the angel. The Buddha then enlightened this heavenly battle. Divided into 3 accounts, 6 case 8 wild, 10 great 36 close, which turns any 3 people into a group. Can outburst strategy on 5 times 6 people. Any combination, it can be more than 10 times more strategic. Just like that, this kind of battle. Even inside the temple of the celestial god. You also write very little. Fake people still look at each other. The photographer continued, in the heavens your gods. Those who practice the God of High will are few. Less and less. This battle, we need a lot of God-given talent. Cultivation of the God of High Decision can be implemented. You've never heard of it. There is this angel. It's not something weird. In short, you can start practicing. The celestial forces in this place are infinite. Will progress very quickly. The guards obeyed, and then shook hands. Cultivation is over. The photographer liked me. It's only 1 step away. There are many dragon servants like that. As long as you don't encounter the false god. It can't be dangerous. On the one hand, practice the war on the other. Scenes in the world. The killings are relentless. The Ming people were beaten to the ground. At the Celestial Institute, the clouds have just returned. I have heard the whispers of the people of the underworld. You are also blocked at the SAO, haha. Inside the headquarters, at this moment, a subordinate is scowling. Ran into the newspaper with Long Fu Yin. Big lady Long Yu Yin heard. I asked what happened. He hurriedly announced the sound. We've been attacked by a bunch of mystics. Damage 7 serious. All 3 courts are 7. Rescue troops of Love Min and Min Celestial. Support was also destroyed. Now they're all blocked in the temple. Going out will be killed. The old man asked only a few days. SAO can completely defeat us as Dragon Thien. Min has acted SAO. The subordinate replied, the lady in front of me cannot be identified. But Tai Long Thien Min's subordinates. There's no movement. His subordinates are all here. Long guesses. Maybe it's the North Korean map. His subordinates said the North's private sector. There's no movement at all. The servant is worried right now. The lady has a job. I don't know whether to say it or not. He said that, which made Long Yu Yin even more curious. She can say anything straight. The subordinate replied, in the middle of the war. There is a fake Power Long public scene. That he practices. It seems to have something in common with Goddess Love. How much love do you have? The staff has nothing to be sure of. It's just a little feeling. The opponent's breath is wrong. This group of people is bizarre. It's specifically aimed at us. Actions are also extremely careful. They seem to want to avoid something. Hearing that, Long Yu Yan said, you go ahead. Let's keep looking into these people's identities for a few days. I'll be right back. The subordinates obey and leave. A period of time, the room behind the door opened. The 2 guards of Long Huayan ran to inform the lady. We have news of your family. He's currently staying at a small town inn. Recently, by a lot of master of the celestial tribe. About 100 people. It's really scary. Idola's in the legends. Not even a breath. So many spirit stones. Then the servant hurriedly flattered. The woman who believes is not wrong. Lady, if I could marry you as a wife. For the job, big lady holds the world seal in her hands. Absolutely, a very good point. Long Yu was embarrassed and read, "Tell me where he is and take me there." The two men obeyed orders. "Yes, ma'am." Then they feel like there's something behind. The eyes become serious. One shouted carefully. Then all three of them flew out. As soon as the three of them launched out, the room was blown up. Long Wyan was surprised to come out a little, then give the order. So the three of us hurled off together. The fire's smoke filled the sky, and the two guards used all their speed to fly away. Behind them are 10 people. They're screaming at each other. Don't let them escape. He killed 2 little old men and left me. Fly away for a while. Long Yu Yen turned around. Now only a mess is left. The people behind them are still chasing the 3 of them. I thought quickly, they are all dragons. Then she turned around. The 2 guards had so much evil. You two run. Then I thought, both of them are fake actors. If you die, you will not live again. At this point, I am determined to say no. We must take the lady with us. We promised the lady. You must protect Miss Shuoquan. Long Yu Yin hesitated to say, but what more is she going to say? But suddenly, there's a flash. There was a loud shout. I don't want to see if we agree or not. Don't even think about running away. Then there was a big explosion in the sky. Inside the explosion, there was a sound of dragons. In an instant, it turned into a demon chain. Long Drug named Long Director saw it immediately, haha. To show not to give up, then release the 3 yellow gas swords. They hit 3 of them. When I saw that, I jumped up. Don't hurt the lady. The director saw that. Then he waved his hands and laughed. Did he hurt your lady too much? And then the purple gas sword shot out again. He was distracted by the black hat director. Concussion of my nose. The gas sword went through her. Surprise. The demon that was hit by this blow immediately lost its connection with the spirit of love. She returned to her original appearance and fell out. Long Yu Yin saw that and panicked all the dumbbells. And then one squid jumps to the side of the barbell. But close to the court, Long Vu Yin was stopped by the forest. Lindy said to Long Wyan, the lady told me here, at least one of the 6 or more. No matter what, we're not his opponents either. The words of LMD dragged Theo Long Vu M and ran away. The dragons saw them running away. Hurry to buy each other and chase us. And then the whole flock came chasing the 2 of them. Just right now, the photographer is on the ground. He also saw the shadow of his disciples. The photographer secretly realized that it was Long Wyan. Then I saw the scene of the disciples being chased by the dragons. Run for a while. I feel like I can't run. He then turned to tell Long Yu Yin that the lady, the caretaker, let's stop them. Long Yu Yan was too passive to say anything to Lindy. She turned her head away. I immediately fell in love and returned to fight, and soared towards the dragons in the background. But it hasn't been long since we flew in. A sword of air fell on Lindy's head. Make her log out of the game in seconds. Long Vu sound witnessed from a distance. I can't help but feel the pain of steel. Then there's an explosion in the sky. Long Yu screamed not because of the huge shock. Then quickly turn around to confront the class. Long Director of Kier just about to come back. They were stopped by the photographer. And he's still running back there. What are you thinking? Long Yu Yin was surprised to say, the devil and the devil are both dead. I saw her, so shocked. Immediately reassure. Let's get out of here first. Let's talk later. Then he took the dragon ball and ran away. The black hat dragons saw you too. They only know the way. I laughed out loud. Ha ha. And one of them said, why, there's another one that kills him. The photographer flew and looked back. I don't know what these people have. Temporary cannot blatantly use thousands of lies on her map. Just speeding up. Then he and Long Yu Yin sped up and ran away. The speed of photography is too fast. The purple air swords of these dragons. Not catching up. It's a surprise. What's going on? This name is a celestial sight is not wrong. Why is it running so fast? It's just a kind of self-stargazing. Dare to steal people from my hands. Find your own death. Then he succeeded. To launch a purple air sword towards the photographer. The photographer feels startled back to something. The photographer said welding is strong. Long Yu Yin saw that and anxiously called out the photographer. I am determined not to die. I cannot die. The dragon ball is the same. Then from the soul of the sea, love photo's breath burst. It guides the celestial force into the Leo string. The devil has more power. His whole body glowed with light. And the tiger, the panda screamed. The serum also screams to the fence. All three of you love spirit. All infuse the power into the photographer. Let the photographer fly away. Make the Kier purple air swords. Don't hang on to the two of them anymore. The dragons. How many purple gas swords to launch in turn? Chasing doesn't work either. Immediately angry. Ha, said a bloody dragon. What kind of background does the boy have? Only 2vi celestial scene. That's so fast. Even the pilot who shot Ra couldn't catch up. When another man saw the situation, he hurriedly asked, our old man, what to do now? The boy is running too fast. The leader shouted after him. I don't believe he can keep up that speed. His VI basically didn't last long. It's just a celestial sight. Bring the woman. They are able to avoid pursuit. Of many fake powers, long director scene, we or SAO. It's still going at super fast speed. Long Wyan hugged tightly. The photographer in my heart is feeling so fast. What speed is this? I can even feel the wind. The photographer continues to maintain his aesthetic speed, despite the speed of the outbreak. But at the same time, energy consumption should be more than 10 times. If it continues like this, I'm afraid a little later I'll have to stop. Take a look around. Then he realized, we've reached the mountains at the border of the wilderness. He looked at the bottom for a moment, then the aesthetic first. Find a place to hide and figure it out. Or take advantage of the terrain hiding in the thousands of Lysun heap. Or bring the false powers of the gods. Inside thousands of Lysun map, million swaps out, they fought a battle with the others. The moon began to fly lower, flying into the ravines. Long Vu Yin still firmly embraces the photographer. The photographer was suddenly surprised. He noticed there was a purple gas. Straight into the two of them. But now it's too late. Can't avoid. That purple air just kept bursting. The photographer screamed, what is this? That's it. A purple glow that enveloped the entire area. You can also see the light from a distance. Behind that mountain range. After a while, the light disappeared. Half an hour later, the long movie. You can't see the light from a distance. People ask each other what happened. Another guy's been looking around. There's no trace. Another guy's talking like an unbelievable death. Let them escape again. Come on, let's move in the dark. The photographer gradually woke up. He opened his eyes. His hand suddenly squeezed into something soft. Then he looked around. He's an idiot. When discovered, my hands are holding the ass of the dragon ball. Long Yu-yin saw that someone was squeezing him. He shouted. Then the two of them looked at each other. Long Yu-yin blushed and shyly shouted, "Eh." The photographer pretended to know nothing and sat up and looked around. Long Yu-yin asked the photographer where this was. "Regularly observe." Silence for a moment, and then I don't know. "If as usual, then we have to stop at a place where the mountains meet." "I guess we can. I've gone into some mysterious space." Long Vu sound only. But right now, they're stuck together. The photographer stared at the cherry tree. Long Yu-yan just said, "Dragon, stand up first." Long dance now. Just realized is still putting myself on the photographer. Then hurry up. She ponies full face eyes. The photographer also stood up and spoke with his heart. "I feel this space. There's a wave of mystical power. Let's find a way out." Just pulled out a voice that said, "Don't look for the way out. You are inside my mind. If I want to let you go, you can leave." Reg Ki and Long Wyan was stunned by Kier's voice. Dragonfly asks us if we are inside the concept. The photographer almost realized. It is said that one thought is unskillful. The voice of astonishing thought said, "Oh, this child. But you know the one thing. Who are you as usual? With your current level of cultivation VI. Basic, they are unable to contact the gods. This much powerful technique." When I heard this, Long Yu was wondering in my mind. What is the true meaning of goddess love? Maybe it's French. Only to resist the martial arts to be able to cultivate. The photographer answered, "I think I really know a little bit. I don't know if it's the idea of laughing." "Haha, I can see through the head. What are you thinking in your heart? Looks like he's very close to you." Long Yu-yin was embarrassed to say nothing. Then the idea goes on, "But I don't see what you're thinking. Your soul is unfathomable. 2VI also has a shifting world. What is this? More so with your power. It can be used by thousands of people." The photographer heard that and thought to himself, "It looks new. Maybe he can't figure out how to get there." The idea of not talking about it. "Son, I ask you. You bought many of the gods. So what to do?" The photographer guessed. Maybe this fake guy has anything to do with it. "With the celestial gods." Then he replied, "My father admired the race. Genie God clan. I want to take them out of this endless wilderness." The notion of almost guessing the photographer's mind. Speaking with anger. "Young people, you're lying." Silence for a while. "And tell me it's hard for my seniors to believe." I thought to explain it that way. God and I have the same enemy. We can lead the people. This God of heaven. They push the limits. Then help me fight the Kier. The idea of pondering for a moment. Then he laughed. "Ha ha ha, ridiculous. What are you all the same enemies? They say they don't care if they believe it or not. My words are true." Both sides were silent for a while. Then the photographer asked me how I was addressed. The idea of answering the heavens. Outsiders call us the great heavens. Surprise Regent Emperor Cao. Then I thought, the great emperor in legend. Again, at this border. It's not true, the emperor died soon. Who is talking to me? Maybe it's just a leftover idea of him. And the one who killed him was God. Speak with the idea. If we say that, we have the same enemy, God. The Holy Spirit is the young man who thinks we're going to believe this. You're just a teenager. Not even the face of the holy Ra Sao has been seen. God, if you want to kill, you are just a thought. If you don't care, ask the opposite. The ancients also knew about time and space. The idea was surprised to ask, time not Sao. Do you mean to say that you are from ancient times? Through time, don't come here. There is no such thing as the ancient Thai era. I don't know, the photographer continued. If we say we're the future. 100 years later, back to the present. God, as people believe me or not. The idea of coming back 100 years from now. The river of time is always moving forward. I never looked back. Unless it comes to this, the idea stops. The Lord and the Lord are still waiting for him to speak. He paused for a moment and spoke. I already know. I believe you. The photographer explained. In my previous life, I fought with God. Eventually 7 failed. Then we go back to our youth. I started to practice divinity. He captured a lot of treasures. But want to break the timeless. The Holy Emperor's seal is still too difficult. I didn't think I'd meet the old heavens here. It tells me that I know a little bit of a past life. Why are you? I lost my previous life. After the terrestrial angel was destroyed. To break the seal to escape. Started killing fake sugar sand. Caused the great destruction. There's a lot of fake power hiding in these areas. No more greed for life and fear of death. Pond ardently protesting. But they were oppressed by the Holy Emperor. It's either death or a lifetime of slavery. I heard the idea was very angry. But he also has a question. You are capable of defeating the Holy Spirit. Even if the next 100 years pass. You are just over 100 years old. To what extent can we practice? It is said that our practice time is not only 100 years. Because we've captured a treasure that can be stopped. Even the reverse of time. Don't get a chance to fight with him. Give you the idea and ask when you do not love Lin Kai letter. The photographer nodded in confirmation. This side, Long Yu Yan only listened to the 2 sides of them talking. A little after the idea of saying, if you want to deal with God, I can help you. But you must agree to one condition. The photographer does not hesitate. Ask again what conditions. Experience answer. That's the thing. You must lead the entire celestial kingdom. Leaving the endless wild man. If the victorious emperor must set them free. The photographer replied confident. This doesn't need to be said. We will also do. The idea of continuing the position of the great, who doesn't want to drool. I believe you can keep your heart right now. But the future is uncertain. I want you to swear. If you break your oath, you will be cursed. The VI never improved further. Aesthetic photographer, heaven emperor, I want to show my ghost. If you break your vow, you will be affected by ghosts. VI cannot be increased. I am the lost light. On the contrary, I don't care about these things. Then the photographer raised his finger. I swear I can swear. Waiting for me to win. Saint Emperor, free the land for the gods. If you break this oath, the eternal Chu VI cannot move forward forever. The sound over here is amazing. God is pleased to say. There are these words of yours. I felt safe while I was alive. Not a few of these treasures. For the great fake power. It may not work. But for you, I can increase your cultivation to the maximum. The photographer thought, the treasure of heaven. Harry looked down at the ground. I was surprised because suddenly there was a light coming. Then the ground started to shake. A variety of armed apparitions. That's armor protection. Knitting medicine, all kinds of geological genius. He looks at wealth with all his eyes. A few of these treasures. Just afraid. Even a martial artist has never seen it. The idea is to say, these treasures, you're too strong for your current state. If you don't know the basic method, you can't use it. But these things, let it be my gift to you. How to use them when possible. I will most likely tell you. The photographer grinned for an hour. God's people are too disrespectful to me. Then the idea of ignoring. The photographer reminded me not to forget. I am the one who came back 100 years later. How to use these. We don't need to let our ancestors teach us. The idea of healing, haha. If it was so, it also reduces a lot of trouble. And the photographer hastily clasped his hands in front of his chest. Respect these things. I am grateful to God as people for being perfect. He's too good. Hundreds of undead gods. Hundreds of weapons. There are countless geologic geniuses. All of these things work. With my current strength, it's hard to get promoted quickly. Has a lot to do with the lack of geologic genius. There are these things, the basic treasures that I couldn't find. The next practice will probably be a little faster. How can we take advantage of them? Is more effective. Go back and think more. Even though they're current SAO2VI, I still can't stand these treasures. The idea of continuing outside. Looks like some people are trying to kill you. Wait for them to leave and I'll take you out. Thank you very much. So the two of them started talking about God. God is like this. And after a while, the idea of landing turned out to be that. You really are from the future. There is also a chance to defeat the enemy. How many years? We've all been waiting for this opportunity for revenge, kid. Except for this treasure. I have a document here for you. Then the idea of heaven threw him that document. He quickly asked if this was 1,000 swords. The idea of heaven is not wrong. It is 1,000 swords. The photographer said, the time of his previous life before he decided to become emperor, a lot of fake powers hiding around the world. And there's a part of the warrior saying, they all help us. The sword of war is one of them. It's just a documentary treasure. But made 5 subordinates at the hands of the holy emperor. Loss of life, the idea of the Buddha's answer. There's a ray left. Our ideas are motivated. Your current ability has no way of using it. When you get into trouble, can't solve, you can use the idea of opening. I can launch 1,000 swords for you. But you have to understand, it needs to accumulate the essence of heaven and earth. They can exercise power. Absolutely not arbitrarily use disease. Best time to face the holy emperor. The company uses it. The photographer confidently told me. Understand how to use it. Don't worry about heaven. The 10,000 swords needed to absorb the divine force can be started in thousands of Li Sun, Ha Fit. It's the most intense area of the celestial sphere. The photographer thought of something and asked. Yes, I want to ask you something. What does the idea of the heavens ask about? The photographer doesn't know. God knows this person or not. That person claims to be the emperor. From the shimmering world. God's judgment. This name is very likely to be that person. I wonder who that person is. The idea of the heavens explained. About 100 years ago, there's a wonderful economic genius. I don't know his background either. It could very well be a transformative power. His God. Once we had a little exchange. Of course, such a genius caught the attention of God. The Lord sent his angels to kill him. He fought with the emperor for a few days. Suddenly hidden, later found no more. The photographer heard here. He was also targeted by God. Except for the proverbial cure, there is. Method of training disciples is like feeding poison necks. Make others feel uncomfortable. The idea is that this person is supernaturally endowed. In just 300 short years, there is no human experience. If he's really a great transformative power, the power is higher than me. The photographer was surprised to think the advantages SAO. It's not like the museum's master transferred that. The idea of more. I was hoping he could break the seal. To destroy the time of the Holy Emperor, but it's a shame. For 5 long endless months, even inside the infinite space-time is growing. You have the opportunity to fight the Holy War. Really not much. Photographer ponder over a period of 2,300 years to the level of the Holy War. In such a way of saying, no, the Emperor is a person. Death of a previous life. It also counts as one. Between myself and the Emperor, there must be some connection. Now the idea of the heavens asks the photographer, you are also from the small world. The photographer said yes. The idea of getting a satisfactory answer is met. I know, I always had some work to do. Thinking forever without knowing. Now it's all clear, haha. The idea of heaven is so excited. His laughter rocked the entire space. Long Vu Yin was affected and blocked 2 ears. The photographer saw that and asked. The old man understood what it was. The mind doesn't hesitate to answer. You have to expose this yourself. Heaven and earth have a destiny. One day you will understand. If you say in heaven, one can fight a battle with God, then surely it's only you. The fate of all beings is in your hands. The idea just ended. The people of Ra don't understand. I think the Emperor understands, but not in this. Finally hidden nothing magical. A while later, the idea of the heavens is a little revealing. He said, I can only tell you one thing. You practice. Inheritance is all over us. So, you need to explore your own potential. Bringing the explosive potential out. Your current training speed. It is too slow to fight with God. Your time is not much. When the photographer finished listening, he appeared. I am determined to say that I will definitely give my all. God's will to move unto something else. I have nothing to help you with anymore. But in this world, people who die for you don't really have much. This little girl is in love with you. There's something about her genius that's too bad. If it continues like this, fear of not helping you. I will give you a creation. Long Yu sound immediately stunned. And then suddenly, there's a big tornado surrounding the body of Long Huayan. The photographer also jumped to the side. Very quickly Long Yu Yin was cyclone covered his body. Inside the cyclone, Long Yu Yin looked up. I just saw such a bright light. And crashed directly into the head of Dragon Yu Yan. The whole body is transformed from the body. She felt the pain from there. The body can't move anymore. I have to help my master. He must be baptized by Goddess Grace. Then the clothes on Long Yu Yin gradually disappeared. Very fast. There was nothing left on her. The naked body of. She also gradually appeared after the tornado of Kier light. The photographer is amazing. Open your mouth and stare. Accidentally caught sight of Long Yu Yin's eyes. This photographer, look at me. She was embarrassed to say, look, don't look. The photographer realized now. He was staring unconsciously at me. Long Vu Yin rushed to heal his hometown. Then he turned his face to reveal his true nature. After a while, the renovation was finally completed. The cyclone gradually dissipated to reveal a naked dragon dance. He's panting. Then she was stupid. Feel the new power. It's flowing in my veins. I said this is my power. She thought to herself, it's my VI. Again directly jump through the sky. Step into the long scenes. More at least 6 or more long-distance scenes. There is still tremendous power in the body. If you bring all this power, whole absorption, VI can be increased to several levels. It's not too difficult to get into the dance. Long Yu Yin, suddenly dumbfounded, in her head, it's all letters. Then I thought this was the law. That's what it turns out to be. A moment after time has passed. Long Yu Yin was wearing proper clothes. The emperor said to Long Huayan, I bring your destiny to the gods. Everything has changed completely. Your VI will progress very quickly. Before I was alive, I never took disciples. Let us say you are my first disciple. When he heard that, he turned to look at Long Yu Yin. Long Huayan caught the photographer's eyes looking at her. It's embarrassing. She said the photographer had a good look at her just now. He is also responsible. I found Long Vu embarrassed. I thought red face, then is this still the violent girl Long Huayan? Then he coughed for an hour, pretending nothing. Then hastily clasped his hands in front of his chest. Honorably thank heaven predecessor. Long Huayan also made Dr. Cheng thank his master. The idea of heaven replied, that's what we can do. As for the future, it's your own. If God is risen, the whole time is untrained. Whether it's ethnic or patriotic, it all melts to dust because defeating God is the right thing to do. Finalize the problem. God told those people to go. Then I'll send you out of here. 10,000 swords of mine. It is also the legacy of the gods. See things as if you see people. If the angels and the gods break down. Not listening, just 1,000,000 swords. They know the right thing. And the idea of heaven, the emperor through 2 people. Dragon and dragon go out of this space. At the same time say, I wait for the day you defeat God. Don't make me 7. The idea of heaven, the emperor withdrew. In the blink of an eye, the 2 of them were out. She glared at me. When I got out, Long Yu Yin looked around, but said nothing. I just saw her down. Retreat, realize. She asked Long Yu Yan where her 2 elders died. Take me through there. Maybe we have a chance to bring them back to life. First, bring their souls into my sight. Waiting for 2 VI to break through the martial arts to reach the divine realm, they can bring back the people they saved. Listening to the presentation photographer Long Vu, I can't believe the opposite is true. And ponder after meeting the great heavens. I knew there was a world more powerful than dance. When I heard that there was hope, I told the photographer, let's hurry over there. Change the scene a moment later. 2 people build for 2 people. I have 2 gravestones and 2 gravestones. Long Yu Yin kneels down. They clasp their hands and worship the souls of the 2 of them. He stood by and comforted Long Yu, he said. Their souls have been absorbed into the glass. The photographer is thinking about it now. In his soul, there is also the soul of the Buddha. I don't know when I can bring them back. Your power is still not enough. Long Vu Yin is now moved by the heart of the photographer. I can't hold my emotions. Cry, say thank you. Then I hugged him. She was suddenly hugged and almost fell over. Fortunately, he survived. Then understand the situation. Long Yu Yin also comforted you. The 2 of them hugged each other. In this majestic mountain setting. Have you finished speaking after a while? I'm about to be forced to breathe. You hear that, new girl? I realized that's how I acted. Let go of the photographer. Shy away. Let the photographer stand alone here. Stupid photographer, Ra, for a moment Mango call.